What's up, Epic 7? Well, it's Wednesday, and that means we've got a content update notification from Smogate. So let's pop over to the stove site and see what new things are happening in Epic 7 this week. So first things first, we've got a Senya and Spear of New Dawn banner. For those of you who are relatively new and do not have your Senya, now is your chance to not pull on this banner. I'm not kidding. This unit is not very good. You can't even use her to imprint young Senya for reasons. So unless she's just waifu, unless you just feel like you have to have Senya on your account, I strongly recommend you skip this banner. She doesn't really have any use in the game whatsoever. And her artifact is only usable on Senya, really. I mean, there's one or two other niche applications like Summer Break Charlotte, but even those units aren't used very much. So I would recommend, unless you're just desperate to have Senya and Spear of New Dawn, that you skip this, that you save your resources for something better, things that are coming down the road. In addition to the Young Senya banner, we have our content update notification. So let's see what Smogate has in store for us today. Please note, this week, no maintenance will be required, so there's no maintenance tonight, guys. Maintenance will be next Wednesday, so first thing in today's update is Special Side Story, Sweet Chocolate Scandal, Week 4. So we're getting Part 4 of Tori's story. Make sure you tune in to I'm Sue tomorrow to check out Sue, Luna, myself, and hopefully Redos voicing the entire story. It'll be a good time. That'll go into effect tonight, like at about 10 o'clock Eastern Time. The week 4 of Sweet Chocolate Scandal will go live, and we can see how the story ends for Tori. And let's see what else we got. Yes, more. Okay, part 2, Senya and Spear of New Dawn drop rate up. We already went over this. Don't pull on this banner. And wow, that's it, guys. That's our content for this week. So yeesh. Oh, come on, Smogate. Throw us a bone here. We're starving. Okay, so something else that did get posted yesterday was the, or a couple days ago, actually, is the arena points system is being changed. So victory points and league criteria is being adjusted. They're taking a swing at fixing the broken arena. So let's see what all they discuss here. So we sincerely appreciate the interest and support of all of our heirs who have continued their adventures in Epic 7. Following the matchmaking improvements implemented on 124, these matchmaking improvements were to let you be able to see people who are higher ranks, to make them not be invisible. At least that's what I'm told. We will be making additional adjustments to their victory point and league criteria, which will be applied after the 3.13 update. So this stuff's going into effect next week. First, we sincerely apologize for not yet providing a fully optimized arena experience. I mean, in all fairness, we've only been complaining about this for like 5 months, right? I mean, it's not really that long. Yeah. Oh, okay. These changes will take effect mid-season. That is kind of unusual. They usually don't make changes in the middle of a season. We kindly ask for your understanding and patience as we work to enhance the system as quickly as possible. It's been 5 months. Anyway, enough on that. Let's see what they're changing. So, the victory points needed to reach each league will be adjusted as follows. So, it looks like they're knocking 500 points off of every league threshold from Emperor and up. And then they're knocking 432 and 100 off respectively out of the champions requirements. So this will confuse a lot of people. I get DMs on it occasionally, people saying, hey, I got 5,200 points, why am I not Champion 4 yet? And I was like, well, Champion 4 is you have to be 5,200 points and you have to be in the top 2,000. And if the top 2,000, if the number 2,000 guy has 5,300 points, then your 5,200 cuts it for the league score, the point score, but it doesn't cut it for being in the top 2,000. You'll have to get to 5,300 points and knock that guy out of the top 2,000. And that's one of the bigger issues we have. Now, the reason they're doing this is because so few people are achieving these high point scores. I mean, we're halfway through the season. Let's go check it out. We're halfway through the season, and what do we have? Arena. Let's see. Let's go look at ranking. And And the number 50 spot, number 50, which should be firmly in the middle of Legend 4, has got 5,400 points. And according to their system, 5,400 points, that's only Champion 3. So, yeah. I think taking it down to 5,200 points isn't going to change things that much, right? All we're doing is removing this guy who is number 50 on the leaderboard from what should be the Champion 3 threshold. We're moving him up to the Champion 1 threshold, right? Right below Emperor. But he's still rank 50. He should still be, he should still be in the top 50. He should be Legend 4, but he's not. Or sorry, Legend 5. Legend 4, I believe, is top 10. He should be Legend 5, but he is still 1,100 to 1,200 points away from the Legend 5 threshold on points. And that's the problem we got, is the points are so hard, the point scores are so hard to get. But let's see if they're going to find another way. They said they're going to adjust not just the league thresholds, but also how fast we can earn victory points. So maybe they're making it so it's easier to earn victory points. So let's see. To address cases where players meet the rank conditions but lack necessary victory points, and that's everybody, right? That's everybody. We got a number 15 person. Number 15. And he's only got 5,800 points. So definitely lacking the point criteria. He's number 14, and he's only point-wise in the Champion 1 threshold. So yeah, they need to find a way to get him 1,000 extra points. So we're dropping it by 500 to make life a little bit easier, right? This goes down from 6,800 to 6,300. And then we're going to try to bridge the gaps by adjusting the points for wins and losses. With the extension of the victory point reset cycle, additional adjustments have been made, including modifications to streak bonuses to allow points to increase more gradually. However, after continuously monitoring player data, we observe while the average success rate remains high, the lost victory points from failed defenses too often outweigh the gains from attacks, making it difficult for players to increase their points steadily. To address this, we will be slightly increasing the victory points gained and slightly reducing the victory points lost from defeats. See, here's the thing. The issue wasn't that you lost so much from a loss. The issue is that it reset your streak. It takes several wins where you can only see people below you. And that was a huge problem, because all you're doing is pushing the people below you lower while the people above you were sitting in their glass palaces untouchable. Now, they did say that they fixed the matchmaking system. I haven't paid enough note to see if this change has really gone into effect. I guess we can look. Let's take a look real quick. I'm only on a 2-win streak, and I am seeing people above me. So you know what? Maybe this will help. Now that I can pull people down who are above me, maybe things will be a little bit easier. But how are we going to bridge that large gap between people who are sitting at 5,800 and really need to be scoring at 6,800? This will help, but how are we going to bridge that extra 500 points? Well, what they're doing is they're changing it so that every time you win, you're going to get roughly 1 additional point up top, right? A win in Legend was 7 and a loss was 13, and now a win is still going to be 7, but a loss is only going to be 12. So losses, it won't be as hard to stay in Legend because you're not going to lose as much from losses. What about the people climbing, like the people down here in Emperor? People in Emperor, a win is going to be 8 and a loss is going to be 12. And now a win's going to be 8, loss will be 12, about the same. You know what? Let's look at the a low point differential, right? Let's look at this shaded column. They shade it for a reason. Let's look at this shaded column, right? So if you are only slightly lower point differential, in Champions, win is 9, loss is 11, is now a win is 10, loss is 10. +1, -1. I mean, when they said they were making a slight adjustment, they are making a slight adjustment. Man, they are really worried about screwing this point system up. It's so much like inching forward, millimeters at a time, and all of this hassle, changing the point thresholds, tinkering with the point loss and gain values, when what fixes all of this is weekly resets. It's weekly resets, and I'm not sure this does enough, guys, because remember, although we're lowering the threshold's not being lowered enough to matter based on the existing score, and we're not seeing a real significant point change. I'm not seeing a huge difference between Champion, Emperor, and Legend. 667, 777, 888, 998. It's only a 1 point gain difference on the wins, and about the same on the losses. 12, 12, 12, 11, 11, 11. It's not a huge impact, and I'm skeptical that this is going to really allow people to climb, because what's good for me is what's good for the people above me and vice versa. So I'm not sure we're going to see much of a change in the point thresholds, but we'll definitely see a change. The important thing is that we pad out the numbers a little bit. That top 100 are in Legend. That top 2,000 are in Emperor, or top 1,000 are in Emperor, and top 2,000 are Champs 4 and above. Instead of just having 12 Emperors, or 12 Legends, and 2 Emperors, and then the other 82 people in the top 100, yeah, they're just in Champs. It looks bad, and it feels bad. What this doesn't address is the crazy point bloat, right? This doesn't address the people who are going to climb up to tens of thousands of points and be untouchable. Because let's do some quick math on it. Let's say you wanted to go up and touch Legend 1 to get your Skystone points, so you need to get 17,552 points. And you're, let's say you're just sitting right now at a respectable 5,200 points, right? That's 12,350 points you have to climb to catch up to Derpist here, right? At roughly 11 points per win, you're going to have to do 1,122 fights without taking any losses. That's not really fair, right? Because if you keep winning, you get streak bonuses. So it's probably closer to, 900 fights in a row without taking any losses. And the moment you take a loss, you lose your streak, and you're not going to be able to make as much points. So, yeah, do you have 1,000 of these hanging out up here? I don't think you do. So how do you get to Legend 1? Well, you don't. How do you get to push for these Skystones? Well, I guess Smogate said these rewards are too generous. We need to find a way to remove them from the game without technically removing them from the game. Yeah, if you want this, you can do it, but just expect to spend 15,000 Skystones in order to get your 5,000 Skystone rewards. If you didn't touch Legend 1 early on, you don't get to play that game anymore. You have zero access to these first-time promotional rewards if you didn't do it before the arena change. The point bloat system's still going to be there. If anything, it's going to be worse because they're increasing the amount of points you get and decreasing the amount you lose from a loss. They are going to address it so that we can look at the number 10 spot and maybe not see lack of legends. Maybe see legends all in the top 100. That is going to be a cosmetic visual difference so that people, it's going to look better, but it's not really going to change anything under the hood. This is all cosmetic, and it doesn't address the real problem of people, the gap between the top 10 and the rest of the player base is going to be so huge that nobody's ever going to be able to push up to get their Skystone rewards, and that is one of the bigger complaints about the system. So yeah, on this screen, it's going to look less embarrassing to Smogate to say, hey, we have a top 100 seats, but there's only 9 people in it. It'll correct that little bit of embarrassment, but it's not going to address the Skystone climbing issue that a lot of people have. Please note that the planned improvements are still undergoing internal testing and may be subject to changes before the final update. I sure hope so. We apologize for any confusions that these caused by these mid-season adjustments. After implementation, we'll continue monitoring the victory point trends and achievement to make further changes if necessary. We'll do our best to make arena experience more engaging. I don't think they're changing anything. I think it's just cosmetic. Right? It'll be nice to be like, hey, I'm top 30, at least it shows Legend beside my name, even though I've done the same amount of fights and have roughly the same amount of points. I think that's what they're going for. Here's the bottom line, and I said it in my post. Without weekly resets, all this does is give the appearance of playability without addressing the actual issue. It's amazing to me that Smilegate has identified the problem, but refuses to take the steps that have, in the past, worked fine to address this issue. Reinstate weekly resets, right? If you want to do it a little different, that's great. Maybe have it reset to the bottom of the rank, right? Have the rank 1 person, their score resets down to 7,000 or 6,500 after these changes. The rank 14 person resets down to 5,200 or 5,100 after these changes. Whatever. That would be great. That way they can still maintain their rank and then climb up from there, but it restores playability to a system and it allows access to pushing for Skystone rewards. And it really is that simple. Otherwise, as far as the community is going to be concerned, I think these changes are worthless. I think these changes just make it not look stupid when people look at the ranking boards. They address a cosmetic issue and not a functional issue. And I'm sorry about being a little doomer on this, guys, but I call it like I see it. This change isn't really a change. It doesn't go far enough, and they touched on greatness, right? They changed this arena system to something that is infinitely better than what we had. They gave us more charms, they gave us a battle pass, they gave us better NPC fights with skippable animations, they added quick battles. They did so much to make arena so good. And then they did the smooth brain move of removing weekly resets. For I have no idea why. And because of that, nobody can push for the Skystone rewards, and it really, really feels bad. So if they would just reinstate weekly resets, I think the system would be perfection. So hopefully they do that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Go on to the Stove post linked in the description of this video and let them know what you guys think about this. We know that they read Stove. If you brigade it enough and let them know what you think, maybe we will get the changes that you think are necessary. And also let me know if you think this is good enough. Maybe I'm being overly critical. Maybe I am being a doomer. Maybe this is exactly what we need. I don't think it is, but I've been wrong before. So let me know what you guys think. And until then, you guys have a great rest of your week. Hopefully next week we get some banger content to talk about. Take care, Epic 7.